we've got what we think is some pretty exciting stuff to talk about, but I'm not the guy that's going to talk about it. Ben McIntosh, the Consumer Business Unit Director of Vodafone is, so I'll shut up and let Ben tell you what we're all about today.
Great, thanks Jed, really appreciate it. Hi everyone, thanks very much. Again, want to thank you very much for coming along very early. Hope you're enjoying the good breakfast. It certainly looks impressive, better than what I've got right here. So again guys, what I'm going to cover today is just a quick wrap up on what Vodafone's done so far in 2017 that we're pretty proud of. Obviously going to talk to you about what we're announcing today and what we think is a real game changer. I'm going to talk to you about the spider web of telco. And everywhere you turn there's another bit sticking to you of contracts and lock-ins and conditions, etc. And then obviously how this all fits then in with our broader strategy, and obviously hoping there's a lot of questions so I can answer for you during the period. So just to sum up, in March of 2017, we truly disrupted the prepaid market by putting an end to the only option being the 28 or 30-day recharge cycles. 28-day recharge cycles are what we like to call 13th month, because it's 365 days divided by 28, you end up recharging 13 times a year, which is a CFO's dream. Unfortunately, it's not that all good for the customer. So we've brought out a range of products that include 35 days, and I can tell you the results of that have been fantastic, and customers are literally voting with their phones and coming across in droves, which we're very, very happy about. I want to remind you again that our $5 a day roaming, it's 4 years old next month in September, it's 4 years old, and it continues to be what we think is best by country mile. We extended the amount of countries we did by 5 countries in July, so it just continues to get better. I'd really love to thank Telstra for releasing their $10 100 meg a day product, because it now gives us a good apples for apples level playing field to convert and to compare. And as I said, we think our offering is the best by country mile. Other things that's been happening in Vodafone that's probably not as public is our NPS, or Net Promoter Score. Year on year is up 9 points. And again, how you going? And again, we'll never be a successful organisation unless our existing customers actually truly enjoy and recommend to their friends and family Vodafone. So NPS is a key non-financial metric, but it turns into financial metrics when customers recommend us to their friends. There continues to be an insatiable thirst for data in the market. So year on year we're up 60% in data usage from the average customer. And quite frankly, we don't see that as stopping anytime soon. The thirst for data will continue, and it will continue, and that's the statistic we've got. We announced last week that in the next 12 months we'll be spending just a tick under $2 billion in our network. And our network is something that we're extremely proud of. It is a great quality network, and we're continuing to invest the serious dollars into making sure the capacity is right, the expansion continues, we eliminate black spots, etc. And continue, because that is the product we obviously sell. In the last 3 years, we've had a 75% drop in complaints, and we are now, and have been for quite some time, the least complained about MNO in the market. And again, we're never going to be a successful company if we have systems and processes and products that spark along complaints. So 75% reduction in complaints just goes to show that we do have our house in order, and we're continuing to go along in a good way. And again, P3, which is the independent body, it's not our metric, but P3 have come along and rated Vodafone's network as the best network in cities in Australia above 100,000 population. And I just want to reiterate, you can talk all day about network, but the network we have continues to be something we're very proud of, and we're continually investing billions of dollars in it. So, if you look around the room in front of you, there's some 1990 style phones, roughly 1995. There's an Ericsson 337 up the back there, which is my very first phone. Yes, they're good little phones. This was the model, the 1018, which was the first prepaid one, but these type of phones. And the reason we're talking about the 1990s music playing, but some 1990s CDs around, is because I want you to take you back, and I want some honesty in the room. I'd like to see a show of hands for people that actively remember 1995. Yes, I believe you, yes. Okay, good. When I do this as store managers, half the room go, I wasn't even born, which makes me feel very, very old. So the reason, I'm not trying to out your age, I'm trying to work out here who remembers it. Because 1995 was the first time Australians bought postpaid in what it was at the time, which is you walked into an Optus store, a Vodafone store, a Telstra store. Hey mate, how you going? Sorry. No, that's fine. So in 1995, you walked into an Optus, Telstra, or Vodafone store, you signed your life away for 2 years, you were given a free device, and I say free device, Usually they were with probably inflated prices of voice and text at the time, but if you all remember 1995. So our point of this today is the fact that 22 years later, there has been no real innovation or change in the way Australians buy postpaid phones since 1995. So fast forward 22 years, we're now in 2017. You walk into an Optus, Telstra or Vodafone store, or obviously website, call centre, etc. You sign your life away for 2 years, you get your free smartphone, and off you go. Miraculously, the telco then falls in love with you, roughly 23 months later, when they want another signature on that contract to lock you in again for another 2 years with your free device. So we believe that needs to change, and we believe today we're going to announce what is a game changer in the market. We believe buying phones in postpaid should be as easy as 1, 2, 3. And that is, you should be able to pick your plan, pick your phone, and do it your way with picking your extras. So what do I mean by that? From today, we no longer offer any lock-in contract phone plans. We have 6 monetary plans from 30 to 100, depending on the inclusion level you're after. So you pick your plan. If you then want to grab a handset, you can either pay for it outright, as usual, just like a consumer electronics store, or you can do truly interest-free, completely separate of the plan, truly interest-free over 12, 24, or 36 months, interest-free. If you do choose to have an interest-free phone and take the phone, you are not locked into any contract at all. You may disconnect, leave us at any time. You simply pay out the remainder of the phone exactly what you owe us. So if you take a $1,200 phone on a 2-year interest-free, for example, and you get to 12 months and you decide to leave us, no problem. You're not on a contract. You may leave us. You simply pay it out what you remain owing on the phone. No extra interest, no extra account keeping fees, nothing. And then of course you pick your extras. Now we've obviously got great international add-ons that we've refreshed, that we'll talk about. It's all in your pack. Data add-on packs that we've refreshed and enhanced. Obviously great insurance products. Now you're going to be covering or taking $1,200 phones. We do obviously recommend it. But the most popular is something we do today, and we've just enhanced it, and that is accessories on account. So you can go into any store at any time during your connection or journey or customer journey with Vodafone, and grab any of your accessories, add it to your bill and pay it off over interest-free over up to 3 years for accessories. So think about Bluetooth speakers, think about Beats headphones. These devices or accessories are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Easy way to pay. You get a great competitive price at the start, just like your consumer electronics retailers, but you can pay this off truly interest-free on the one bill with Vodafone. So again, I want to stress, we are the telco that as of today has no lock-in contracts when you take interest-free phones. So I'll explain what that means. Any phone, interest-free. Any memory variant, interest-free, you name it. You pick your plan, you pick your phone, you pick your extras. So how does it work? So I mentioned before that we have 6 plans. Simple as that. 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, depending on your level of inclusions. Obviously the more you spend, it exponentially gives you more inclusions. So we enhance people to try and spend more with us, of course. If you truly just want a SIM card, no phone, and you don't want any lock-in contract, you go to any of our stores, website obviously, or call centre, take a SIM card on a no lock-in contract SIM only plan and leave with the SIM card. We do that today. Obviously with the new plans you'll have enhanced inclusions. If you still just want a SIM card, but you are happy to commit to us for 12 months, then we'll give you the same SIM card, we'll roughly double your inclusions from the month-to-month plan, and again, out you go. We do this today. From January to July, 64% of our business has been SIM only, and the vast, vast majority of the SIM only business has been the 12-month lock-in commitment SIM only plan. So customers obviously feel 12 months is reasonable. We think it's reasonable, it's pretty fair, and customers are voting with their purchasing plans. However, if you do want to add a phone, you'll get all the benefits and all the inclusions of the 12-month SIM only plan with your phone interest-free, truly interest-free over 12, 24 or 36 months, but without the 12-month commitment. So if you take a phone through Vodafone, interest-free, you get all the benefits, all the flexibility, all the transparency of SIM only 12 months or SIM only plans, but with the benefit of having your phone paid for interest-free. Again, no account keeping fees, no handling fees, etc. over the term you want. So I'll give you one example. In your packs you'll find every example and all the inclusions throughout all the plans, but I'll give you one example. If you read from the bottom first, customer chooses a SIM only plan. $50 a month is actually our most popular, so that's why I chose this as an example. Customers walk into our stores, again, website, etc. They choose $50 a month. They can go to SIM-only plan with absolutely no contract or commitment whatsoever. They're going to get 6 gig of data. They're going to get 1,000 minutes to 12 selected countries and 100 minutes to 55 countries. Again, this is all in your pack, so you'll have all this ready for you guys when you leave. If you're prepared to commit to us for 12 months, instead of giving you 6 gig of data, we're going to give you 14 gig of data. And then on top of that, there are customers out there who need to ring or want to ring international minutes, so they can choose to have the 1,000 minutes or the 200 minutes to the 55 countries. Or, like a lot of customers who don't actually call often internationally, you can trade off those minutes and get an extra 2 gig of data. Then, simple as this, if you do want a new phone, your iPhone, Samsung, HTC, Huawei, whatever brand, whatever you choose, if you add the phone and do the interest-free over 12, 24 or 36 months, we're going to give you all the inclusions of the 12-month lock-in contract without the contract. It's as simple as that. Now, as I said, 64% of our customers between January and July have been doing SIM-onlys anyway, so they have been choosing somewhere else than the telco to get their phone. And that worries me, because I want Vodafone to be the destination for technology, the provider of the smartphone, and if customers are choosing to go elsewhere to get their phones, there's a reason for that. And the market, I think, is a little bit polarised. There's customers, well, the average customer uses their smartphone for 3 years, as you actually know. So therefore, we're now making a lot more convenient and cheaper if you want to spread bring more options if you want to spread it over 3 years instead of the 2 or buying it outright. Then there's customers who want new phones every year, and we cover that. There's customers who want to do it on their terms. The point here is, it's no longer the telco dictating what term you take it over. There's a hell of a lot more flexibility from today. So we've made it really simple for people to differentiate between mobile services and repayments. I'm going to let you in on a bit of a secret, guys. There is no such thing as a free phone. That free phone you are paying for. Now let me give you an example. I'm not mentioning any brands on this one. I think there's no point because we're pro any brand the customer wants to choose. But if you think tier 1 brands, you start talking about a $1,200, $1,199. The most popular phones in the market at this point are around about the $1,199, $1,200 mark. So again, we're going to go from right to left. So if you look at this, you're going to choose the $50 red plan, which is the example I gave before. You simply divide $1,199 by 24 months, if that's the term you want to do. That becomes $49.95 a month. On this particular one, because we're obviously now competing in 2 clear markets, we need to be ultra competitive in the RRP space of phones, which is competing against the consumer electronics retailers. We also need to be competitive to make sure we're competing with our current traditional telco competitors. So in this particular scenario, because we're scanning the market to make sure you're getting the best deal, we don't believe flexibility should come at any substantial cost. In this particular example, we're actually going to give you a discount on the $50 plan, so it becomes $44 a month, plus $49.95, $93.95 a month. Here's the key. At the end of 24 months, your phone has been paid off. You immediately, without having to do anything, you stop being charged for the phone because that is now yours, and you revert immediately without having to take any action or calling us at all back to the SIM-only plan. If you look at the traditional way, or the 1990s way, when you finish your contract, if you trust your telco to do the best deal for you, you'll continue to pay the $80 or $90 or $100 plan that you're on, even though the phone has been paid off. Another example, so the same customer, which is the average customer lifespan, wants to use their phone for 3 years. So instead of paying for it in 2, you take interest free. Again, you're not financially any worse off or any charges for doing it. Exact same option. You look at the interest-free phone, divide $11.99 by 36 months, brings the monthly price down, and you spread your cost over the life of the plan. Again, in your packs, there's a lot more details of every single plan, etc. So why are we doing this and why we think about picking your plan? The best way to describe this is customers are going elsewhere to buy their phones currently. So we're now giving customers from today all the benefits of SIM-only, all the value of SIM-only, all the transparency and flexibility of SIM-only without any lock-in contracts. You then take the phone. You can choose any phone you want. If you choose an expensive phone, if you choose a cheaper phone, you immediately save the money yourself. Again, it's up to the customer, no longer the telco dictating which phone you have to take. So we believe we're offering transparent pricing, true interest-free, the choice and value that you dictate that's appropriate for yourself. Will always be competitive in the market. We understand we're now going to be going across 2 markets, the consumer electronics retailers and also the traditional telcos. We're going to make sure we scan the market constantly to make sure we are ultra competitive. and again, easy exit. And we certainly don't want customers to leave, but if customers choose to leave us, they may do so. Now, in the interest of transparency, we have resisted along for years and years to introducing what is called a porting out fee. We have hard costs to cover. So if you disconnect from us, there's no penalty at all. If you port your number to, if you leave us and go to another provider and take your number with us, we are introducing an $8 porting fee. Now the reason we're doing that is hard cost to cover. We've got to invest in both CapEx and actual people on the ground to meet the SLA of the industry. So I don't want you leaving the room and us hiding that, so we're calling that out for you guys to be nice and transparent. But again, leaving us going to another telco, the worst is $8. And every other player in the industry charges this. We have resisted for years, we can't anymore.
That's only on postpaid though, right? I mean, I've ported many times on
only
prepaid.
Postpaid. Prepaid, no problem. This is only postpaid. Okay, so just to remind them the extras, of course, we've got brand new international identity add-on packs that we're very proud of, and that solves a lot more countries. We now cover international dialing included minutes in packs, or included minutes cover over 75% of the world's population. I just want to remind you that all of these plans automatically come with our $5 a day roaming, or of course $0 if you go to New Zealand, because we've still got that going. And I just want to remind you again, our $5 a day roaming is 4 years old in September, and as far as we're concerned, no one has come anywhere near close enough to matching it. And it is a profitable business for us, so we enjoy the more $5 a day roaming, the better. We've got refreshed and renewed data add-on packs because to cover that insatiable thirst for data that continues going on. And again, accessories on account. Why would you pay cash for accessories or swipe your credit card when for no penalty, no interest, no charges, you can simply put it on your Vodafone bill and take it away and pay it off over 3 years if you wish. So again, Aussies replace their smartphones on average about 3 years. So again, customers that we've researched, both Vodafone and non-Vodafone customers, are saying, look, we want more flexibility in the way we pay for things. They're wanting more transparency. Customers, over 60% of our business is already SIM only. We now believe we're filling a customer-driven hole in the market where they want better flexibility, better transparency to go along. So again, just to sum up, as of today at Vodafone, you pick your SIM only plan. You pick your phone interest-free over 12, 24, 36 months. You pick your extras. Okay, the spider web of telco contracts. Everywhere you turn. Has anyone ever walked into a spider web? And everywhere you turn, you try and get it off yourself. It's impossible. Well, we want to get ourselves out of that, and we want to be the telco that does this for you. Which brings me to leasing. I'm being recorded, and I could be sued. So, all I want to say on this is I'd like to offer a very respectful challenge to you all as journalists in the industry. And all I want to say on leasing is I've been around for quite some time in both consumer electronics now and in telco. And I have to say, I scratch my head at how this is going on in the market. It's almost like paying someone else's mortgage, but never ever getting to own the house. You return a $400, $500, $600 device to the telco so they can go and sell it for $400, $500, $600. Telcos don't put these in recycle bins and feel great about the environment. They sell them on the wholesale market for $400, $500, $600. Now, I don't want to end up in court being sued because I enjoy my house and my life. However, as journalists, I would respectfully ask you to look into this and compare. Make up your own minds, of course. But I must admit, I do scratch my head quite passionately about leasing. So why the change? And this comes into the bigger Vodafone plan or future that we're going for. Obviously, we believe that as of today, we are the most flexible, transparent, value-based, customer-driven telco in the market. Our complaints are down, our NPS is up. We now offer products that have dragged the industry out of 1995 or the 90s and into the 21st century of 2017. We've taken very good inspiration from the US market. Obviously, if you look at consumer electronics, especially, or technology, a lot of the trends come from the US, and it's usually 2 to 3 years later. Things that happen in America are normal in Australia roughly in that period. So we've taken inspiration from T-Mobile, who were the fourth player by a country mile in that market, and then decided to reinvent the telco industry, go the un-telco market, and we've taken inspiration from that to be really customer-centric, not traditional telco forced loyalty. Again, we continue to invest literally billions of dollars in our network, and it again is a product that we're extremely proud of. And I can tell you our nearing 6 million customers love our network. It's just one of those things where we've got to get the word out there that it is a network to be proud of. We'll be launching into the NBN market fairly imminently, as you're all aware, and I don't think I'd ever be found out saying this, but the modem is now a game changer. The modem is something, who would have thought that, a modem, but anyway, the product we've selected and everything we're doing around NBN is to try and get it right, and get it right from the start. So again, I know some of our competitors do it for a hefty fee, but our modem, when you walk out of the store, it walks out working. You don't have to wait the 4 weeks or whatever it takes to get the NBN connected, because we'll be connecting you through our 4G network whilst we in the background get you connected on the NBN. And of course, for localised faults of NBN, we can switch on the 4G network at any time to make sure you have got a safety backup with NBN. You'll hear more about that later. Again, we still have going currently the $5 roaming around the country, which is 4 years old in September, and it's $0 roaming in New Zealand. Wi-Fi calling, we will later in this year, before Christmas, launching into a proper, embedded in the core network Wi-Fi calling solution, which again will provide further reasons for you to go mobile only. So between NBN and your Vodafone mobile, no lock-in contracts. We believe we've got a great solution coming. There's a few tweaks we're going to make to make data even more friendly and more customer friendly, more family friendly, which I'll talk to you about in a few weeks' time. I want to remind everyone that we disrupted the prepaid market and people are coming in droves, and we're incredibly impressed with the numbers we're getting out of the 35-day prepaid. If you give customers something different, something innovative and something disruptive, they vote with their phones and reward you with their custom. Data pooling, we've got enhanced data pooling options that we'll see more families want to pool their data together to get even more out of their telcos and even more out of Vodafone and the data we provide them. And our goal, our number one goal out of all of this, is to be the telco that is the truly, truly customer-friendly telco. Right, just to finish off. Remember, things can change. 2 years ago, Mr. Obama was the president, and now Trump. So look, if you need any more examples of what can change, but this brings me back to the current example. When you sign a contract, it's not actually about wanting to leave or wanting to get out of your contract. It's more about what happens when you're on that contract. So 2 years ago, our $80 plan had 6 gig of data. Those customers 2 years ago have to stay on 6 gig of data the whole time. So as our inclusions improve over time because of competition and the evolution and revolution of inclusions, you're no longer on a contract with Vodafone, which means at any time, every time we release a new plan, you can get the new plan. You're not stuck on what, so it's not always about leaving, it's about being stuck. You're no longer stuck with us, you can choose. So when things change, your telco should be able to adapt to the latest and give you the latest and greatest inclusions. Question? Oh, you're
Question.
first. Excellent.
Yes. So I've got 3 questions. One, you say that we're 2 or 3 years behind the developments in the US.
Yep.
So do you think we might see unlimited data with a hard limit shaped cap in sometime in the next 2 or 3 years? You know, in the States it's 23 or 28 gigabytes of unlimited before they shape you during peak times, you know, with all the
Yep.
telcos there.
Yep.
Secondly, you've got 35-day prepaid. Might you then also innovate to maybe give 35-day postpaid also to, you know, extend the value of that? And the third question is, this all is new, but by the same token, you had 12-month interest-free and 24-month interest-free and 36-month interest-free for the iPhone launch last year, and it sort of disappeared very quickly. I think after probably there was a rush of people wanting to get the interest-free phone. So you've obviously been beta testing this over the past couple of years, but now you're going to keep it as a permanent thing and it's not going to disappear in a few months, obviously.
Correct, yeah, sure. Okay, so 3 questions. Number one, US inspiration. So look, I'm not going to announce anything today, obviously.
Sure.
We're very aware of what's going on in the US. We look at the US very, very closely, and we look at their products and what's happening. So it would be, you know, ill of me to say, oh, that's not going to happen. Obviously, the market will change, evolve, and we're going to be up there with the best of them to make sure we work out what's the right experience, what's legal in this country. We have to work out whether the ACCC would be open for us to be saying unlimited, but then it's not truly unlimited because if you get shaped, etc. But let's face it, innovation comes from somewhere, and we take our inspiration from the US, so let's see what happens in time. Your second question was...
35-day prepaid
Yeah.
turning into 35-day postpaid?
Yeah, certainly not at this point. So we looked at the market. The prepaid market was crying out for it at 28 days and 30 days. Most are at 28, some are at 30. So we thought, why not give an extra week, etc. So that's an opportunity we've reserved just for prepaid. We want to make sure that the customer can choose. I don't mind whether a customer comes to Vodafone and it's prepaid on whatever product we have, all the range there. postpaid, what I want to make sure is that the options we give them in our entire product range is the best, the most flexible, the most transparent, and the best value in the market. Okay, and then your third question.
Well, you introduced this before,
Okay,
and then it
correct.
disappeared.
We've done it in small ways, but this is now, we're all in. It's not going. This is not a promotion. This is the new way we do business. We do not offer any more lock-in contract 24-month plans with phones. It's not available. Now, in business, we've got some same plans in the business area, etc., because that's a very different market and different needs, etc. But look out for innovation coming in that space soon as well. But for the average consumer in Australia, which is 80-odd% of the market, we literally, this is not a promotion or a special. This is the way we do business from today.
And what are your margins like on plan inclusions versus just handset inclusions versus straight plans? If you've got more customers moving away from taking the handset to Vodafone, is that going to do good things for EBITDA or send it down a little bit?
So there's obviously in any business case where you throw down the gauntlet and it's game on and change the market and disrupt, there's always risks, there's pros and cons when you talk about internal Vodafone business cases. We believe that all the risks from things like toxic revenue, at the end of the 24 months you still continue paying the plan, that's obviously a financial risk to us. It would be a lot easier to just keep charging, we make money forever, but we want to offer something different. So there's many ways, there's many upsides we can get. We obviously think that plan inclusions, so if you spread your phone over longer, you might take a bigger plan. Loyalty will increase because of flexibility. If you give customers true flexibility, true transparency, best offers at all times, why would they leave? But no, we believe this is going to be a positive business case all over when the pros and cons are added up for our financials.
What's my option if I've got a handset on a 12-month payment plan, 24-month payment plan, or a year in I've got that new phone need? Do I just stack the repayments?
Okay, as of today, in terms of right here what we're launching today, it is only one at a time. You will see in the next weeks and months come along, we've got a whole pipeline of enhancements and launches to come along to make sure we even go even further to being more transparent, flexible for the customer. So just going to leave you in a bit of suspense, but you'll find over in the next weeks and months.
What do you mean by one at a time, sorry?
So just like today, if you have an $80 or $100 plan, you have one phone.
Yeah, right.
So if you want to get rid of that phone, etc., you've got a contract. Same as this, we have one at a time. There will be enhancements we're launching the next weeks and months. We can do multiple handsets, or if you've dropped it, you can still pay off, not have to pay up hundreds of dollars, etc., to have it replaced, etc. Just hold this space, watch this space. There's better enhancements coming.
And just finally, if I do commit to a 12-month plan, I'm happy with the contract, and then the allowances on that plan change halfway through my cycle, do those get updated in my plan, or do I have to wait until my...
Yeah, so if you're on the 12-month SIM only, no, that's not the case. You obviously have to wait the 12 months.
Yep.
If you want to change your mind and grab a phone at any time, you're not locked in, you can come across and grab the phone and then do it that way. But remember, most telcos change their plans. We have minor changes once a year and major changes once a year. So the 12 months, the reason we think 12 months is fair is because that major cycle, you're never actually out of the market by that much.
Yeah.
Again, the commitment we think is fair. Customers are already voting with their own SIM cards by doing it, because the vast majority of our SIM only is the 12-month. So they think it's fair, we think it's fair, and they're not out of the market for very much.
Just to clarify on that though, once the 12 months is up, you revert back to the SIM only plan at that price point, and then the inclusions would increase.
No, so if you sign up on the 12-month SIM only,
Yep.
once you finish that 12-month commitment, if you don't do anything, you just continue on the same inclusions you've used to, but you're no longer in a lock-in contract.
So you could ring up and say, hey, put me on the better inclusions.
If you're on a 12-month SIM only,
Well, once you've reached the 12-month limit.
of course,
Yeah.
you're a free
But
agent. you're back to
you
the-
have to proactively call. You're not
Also,
automatically.
bit of both.
That was the question, wasn't it?
We actually proactively reach out to our customers. We send
Yeah.
text messages, emails, etc.
Yeah.
But the customer has to do something to do it.
Sure.
We proactively message them,
Yeah.
or they can call in. But we have to wait until the customer says yes before we can change their plan.
But that's not the case if you're on month to month. You just automatically get upgraded because it's a month to month.
No, again, you've got to do something. We prompt you and we reach out to you, or you can call in.
Sure.
But you actually have to give us permission to change your plan for that to happen. But remember, if you're doing interest-free phones, again, you've got all the flexibility of month to month. So you can ring up at any time. So you want a better plan, up or down, better inclusions, new plans, or anything. You're a free agent.
And you can change those plans as many times as you want.
Correct.
So if the $60 plan goes from like 6 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes, and it's still a $60 plan, as a $60 customer, I won't get that increased allowance unless I contact Vodafone.
Correct. you actually have to do something. Now we're making that a lot easier. So as I said, you may get a text message from us saying, we've got the new plan, would you like to update? Yes or no? It's as easy as that could be, or you could ring us, or go to My Vodafone and change it through the app.
I mean, telcos have never alerted you before, so that's clearly a change.
Correct. We're not in the business of changing customers' plans unless they actually want us to do that. But again, the ability to do it and the ability to be locked in is two different things.
Maybe you could just ask for the best plan you could possibly ever give over that you ever had at the beginning of your engagement, and then you don't need to actually ask them because you've already got pre-approval to add those inclusions as they come along for free.
Good suggestion. Might add that in.
Why even make that concept?
So the best way of saying that what I'm very proud of is that today, I believe we're the most flexible, transparent there is in the market today. We have a list this long of enhancements we want to do over time. Some of them require some system changes, IT changes. But if we're the best today, we're only going to get better. And all these suggestions are things we need to do. But as of today, if you're wanting to change, either we've proactively reached out to you, or you can ring us, or My Vodafone app, etc. But you, as a customer, you have to actually do something first.
Just on the accessory side, I think
Yep.
really interesting. Does that include smartwatches and more expensive accessories? And what is the limit? How much can you actually spend on accessories in the store before you go, hey, this is
We hope to
this is
spend
just
a lot.
it's a free credit card basically.
Yeah, we are already a credit provider, so any postpaid service, all the telcos are classed as credit providers, so we obviously credit check, etc. We did that today or yesterday. The limit, I'm not sure we actually have a limit per se, but the average customer is spending roughly $200 today, and we do this today. This is not exchange. All we've done is extended it to 36 months. But people are doing it for Bluetooth speakers especially, and Beats headphones especially going very, very well. And also the traditional cases, covers, chargers, etc. We do packs, you name it, the customer can choose.
And just ranging on the smartphones, like are you going to expand your ranging to attract more people to buy phones from you? Because you indicated you want people to buy handsets from you, but
Yep.
certainly the ranging has got less and less in recent years. Very pinpoint, very focused on particularly two very large brands. But what about the other brands?
Yeah,
Is it
absolutely.
gonna be
So
more
we
stressful
have
to-
excellent relationships with all the major manufacturers. So you've got obviously your Apples, which we love, the Samsungs we love, the HTCs, the Huawei's, the Sonys, etc., Oppos. Our range will be whatever we believe customers are reasonably after. Now, in the early days, there's going to be push and pull in terms of if there's demand, we'll get it, etc. However, just remember the key to this is when you choose a different priced phone now, you immediately save money. Whereas the traditional 90s style of postpaid almost forced you to take the two bigger brands because it was the same price regardless of what plan you chose or what phone you chose. So yes, we will continue to enhance our range. Cover back there?
Sorry, so the SIM-only plans, are they still kind of red in the sense of like you get the international roaming and everything else?
Every single postpaid plan we do, everything automatically without doing anything comes with $5 a day roaming. Automatically, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to ring up. It's automatic. SIM only commitment, phone plan. Either way, it's all automatically there.
You gave the example before of the $50 plan and how much the handset payments are over 36 and 24 months.
Yep.
If you increase the plan repayments, does that affect the handset repayments, or are you just paying off the RRP of the device over a period of time?
Okay, so again, so the plan is completely separate to the phone.
Yep.
So we're scanning the market to make sure we've got always good deals and good value, etc. But generally speaking, you pick your plan, which is completely separate to the phone. You can choose the phone 12, 24, or 36. It doesn't change anything, doesn't change the plan, etc. Away you go.
Does the discount that you get on the plan then increase as you increase? Because
Yes.
typically,
Yes, it does.
with,
Oh, yes.
with the traditional model, if you sign up for a $50 plan, then you've got a large
Yes.
handset repayment, whereas if you go for a $100 plan, then it's small.
The discounts are in place more to make sure we're not pincered by two different markets. We're now officially in two competitive industries. One's consumer electronics, where we have to make sure our RRPs are competitive to make sure customers aren't spending more with us than anywhere else, so we need to make sure we're competitive. We also then are competing still with the traditional telcos from the 90s model, which is based on TCO, or total cost of ownership. So we're making sure that our mechanisms across the range, customers can get equal or very good deals across whatever range. But you'll find that 2436 has the discount mechanisms more often because we're still competing with the 90s old subsidy lock yourself in model. We want to make sure this flexibility doesn't come with a substantial cost.
So that discount model is designed, just to clarify this, is designed to kind of even things out with that traditional postpaid model. And is it a specific, because that will scale based on
Very tactical. So
phone you
it
get
is
and the plan.
the best way I can display this is levers at our disposal to make sure we are ultra competitive in this market.
Cool. And that's going to
They're
depend
going to be
on the
sporadic
phone
and
plan.
tactical. It's going to be depending on what you do to make sure that you can't get a substantially better deal anywhere else, which is really important to us. Now, let me give you an example, and again, journalists in the room, so respectfully, if you do the maths on current iPhones, you will find that most telcos in this country, if you work out the maths, are charging more than RRP at this point anyway. So this will not be a problem around iPhone. But again, this is more as a lever that we have at our disposal to make sure that our customers, or customers who want to be with Vodafone, never have to get the flexibility at a cost. We will be ultra competitive in the outright space and ultra competitive in the traditional 90s model telco.
And so, just to sort of put it in perspective for someone who may not really, because the whole reason this model has succeeded is because consumers go in, they want the new phone, the repayment plan is very confusing and it hides the true cost that you're paying. How much are people saving on a traditional handset, say one of those flagship models from a major brand, whether you compare it to your competitors or whether you compare like for like to what you were offering yesterday?
Yep.
What kinds of figures are we seeing that people are saving because they're just doing this simple plan and phone?
Okay, so the key to this is when you will really save a lot of money if you are what the average customer in Australia is. Now, if they're using their phone for 3 years and at the end of their 2-year current 90 style postpaid lock-in contract model, if you don't do anything at the end of your 2 years and you continue paying your plan, that's when you start saving a lot of money. With us, from today, when your phone is paid off, it's paid off, done, and automatically you stop being charged for it and you automatically revert to the SIM only.
I think the question though was, in the old days, you would have paid a $200 or $300 premium when you're paying it off over a couple of years because you inflate the price, but now it's over 12 months and it's just, or 24, 36, and you're just dividing that cost of $1,200 by that. I mean, your margin must be smaller.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of the follow-on from that is are telcos, other telcos you previously, are they charging a little bit of a premium, adding a bit of cream on the top that you are now removing because you're just dividing $1,200 by 12 months? So
Yeah. I don't think, so look, I can't speak for the other telcos, I think speak for Vodafone. At the end of the day, we technically speaking don't make money out of the devices. The devices are a means to an end to get people to be our customer of ours. So we don't really recognise any margin at the moment on handsets, and I don't really intend to make much money from them in this model either. I just want to make sure that customers see us as the truly fairest way to get a phone. That's what's number one important for me. We make money from the plans.
And it's the practice of continuing to charge customers after they've, so say their repayment cost, their plan traditionally would be $50, but their plan with all the repayments and junk is $90. Is it common practice in the Australian telco industry that $90 charge continues to be levied after the phone is technically paid off?
We believe it is. And that's from today, that stops with us.
Surely that would be something that the ACCC would be keen to know about.
You guys are the journalists.
Right.
I'll let you guys make up your own
But
mind.
as you were saying,
it's
once
certainly
the
not illegal. You are on a $90 plan, for example,
Right.
and that
okay.
plan includes a free phone. And if you don't do anything
I see.
after 2 years and you rely on the telco to continue to offer you a better deal, you will continue to be charged $90. So there's no, I mean, it's not rorting.
Yeah.
Do we think it's fair? No, that's why we're changing this.
But I mean, some of the telcos would have said you've paid your phone off, so that phone component is no longer being charged, and then you would have seen your
Yeah,
plan
so
drop.
if you're talking about the MPP component, that stops.
Yeah.
But you're still on a $90 plan.
Right.
And roughly speaking, well, a $100 plan
Yeah.
is roughly equivalent to a $60 SIM only in inclusions.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still getting a $40 premium. Whereas with Vodafone from today, when you finish paying off your phone, it's finished, automatic done, and you just pay for the SIM only inclusions.
See you later.
Right, any other questions, guys? Really appreciate
You
oh,
must
sorry.
be expecting to sell a whole stack of Note 8s and iPhone 7s and iPhone 8s this, in the next couple of months when it all launches.
We think this is excellent timing, obviously very, very good timing for some rather large launches that are coming out imminently. I just want to point out here that the telco market relies on customers doing nothing.
Yeah.
We all, the industry, the whole industry has been guilty of relying on customers, millions of Australians, to do nothing.
To get slagged with the lazy tax, as I hear on the radio.
Your words. What we want to do is disrupt, innovate, and give customers a reason to switch. Technically speaking, for the last 22 years, all of us, within a couple of gigs of each other, a couple of talk text times of each other, a couple of dollars here and there, we've all been the same. As of today, it's one of those real proud moments that we now do something very different. We're going to drag the postpaid industry out of the lazy last 22 years into modern times. And if the competition catches up with us, awesome, that's what competition's all about. But it's something that from today we are very different, very innovative, disruptive, honest, transparent, we're there.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate you coming along this morning. Appreciate it. Thank you.